Quote for impact optional. As Lao Tzu wisely said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. What you see as success is often the result of years of incremental growth. Section 2, the power of incremental change. 4 Mins. Small steps build momentum. Small changes lead to momentum. It's easy to dismiss the power of tiny actions, but those are the ones that build habits. And habits, more than motivation, are the real drivers of personal growth. Real life example, e.g., fitness or learning a skill. Take fitness, for example. Running a marathon might seem daunting, but if you start with walking, then jogging for a few minutes each day, you'll build endurance. That daily effort compounds over time until what once seemed impossible becomes achievable. The compound effect. Think about it like this: 1% improvement every day leads to a 37x improvement by the end of the year. That's the magic of incremental change. Each small step builds on the previous one. Section 3, the psychological benefits of small wins. 4 Mins. Boosting motivation. One of the most overlooked aspects of small beginnings is the psychological boost it gives you. Each small win creates a positive feedback loop. You start believing in your ability to achieve more, which keeps you motivated. Example of positive reinforcement. Research shows that our brains thrive on progress. Even checking off a small task gives us a dopamine hit, a natural reward that keeps us going. So instead of aiming for massive, overwhelming goals, start with bite-sized achievements. Overcoming perfectionism. Small steps also help us break free from perfectionism. When we focus on taking the next step, we stop worrying about getting everything right. Progress becomes more important than perfection. Section 4, practical steps to embrace small beginnings. 3 Mins. Break down your goals. First, break your goals into smaller, actionable tasks. If your goal is to write a book, focus on writing just 100 words a day. Over time, those words will accumulate into chapters, and eventually, a completed book. Celebrate small wins. Second, celebrate your small wins. Don't wait until the entire project is done. Recognize and reward yourself for the little steps you're taking. It keeps your motivation alive. Track your progress. Lastly, track your progress. Whether it's through journaling, a progress chart, or an app, visually seeing how far you've come can be incredibly motivating. It shows you that small beginnings are leading to real change. Section 5, real stories of success from small beginnings. 2 Mins. Inspiring figures. Look at some of the most successful people in history. Steve Jobs started Apple in a garage. J.K. Rowling wrote the first Harry Potter book as a single mother living on welfare. These people started small but were persistent in their incremental steps toward greatness. Your own story optional. You may not realize it, but you likely already have your own story of small beginnings. Think back to a time when you made slow, steady progress in something, perhaps your career, a hobby, or a personal transformation. Inclusion and call to action. 1 Min. Recap key points. Today we've talked about the power of small beginnings, the importance of incremental change, the psychological boost of small wins, and practical ways you can apply this mindset to your own life. Final thought. Remember, the path to success is not about huge, immediate leaps, but about steady, persistent steps forward. Embrace the art of small beginnings, and over time you'll find that those small steps have led to remarkable personal growth. Call to action. If you're ready to start your own journey of small beginnings, leave a comment below with one small step you'll take today. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on personal development. Closing quote optional. 30 secs. As the African proverb says, little by little, a bird builds its nest. Start small, stay consistent, and soon you'll see the fruits of your efforts. This outline can be expanded with personal anecdotes, deeper analysis, or interactive audience engagement, depending on your style and your audience's preferences. Would you like any adjustments to fit the tone or structure better? Absolutely. Here's a continuation of the small beginning story to keep the momentum and inspiration going. Section 6, how small steps build resilience. 3 Mins. Learning through challenges. Small beginnings not only lead to success, but also build resilience. When you start with manageable tasks, you're able to handle setbacks without feeling overwhelmed. Every small step forward becomes a learning opportunity, and every challenge becomes less intimidating. failure is less risky. When you take small, calculated steps, failure is less risky. You're not gambling everything on one big moment, you're learning and adjusting as you go. This mindset shift allows you to keep moving, even when things don't go as planned. Example of personal growth through setbacks. Imagine someone learning to play an instrument. If they aim to master an entire song on day one, frustration is inevitable. But if they focus on learning one note at a time, they're building both skill and the ability to handle mistakes without giving up. Section 7, the ripple effect of small actions, 3 mins. Impact beyond yourself. One of the most beautiful things about small beginnings is the ripple effect they create. When you take consistent small steps, not only do you grow, but you inspire others around you to start their own journeys. Whether it's your family, your friends, or even colleagues, your progress has a positive impact on those who see it. Example of how small acts can inspire others. Take the story of a man who started running just 10 minutes a day. His coworker noticed and decided to join in, and soon a group of them was meeting for a morning run. What began as a personal goal turned into a community effort, inspiring health and wellness in others. Small changes in relationships. Small steps can also improve relationships. Simple acts of kindness, such as listening more, being present, or showing appreciation, can completely transform the dynamics between people. Over time, these small, consistent efforts lead to stronger, more meaningful connections. Section 8, small beginnings in the digital age, 2 mins. Leveraging technology for small wins. In today's digital world, technology provides powerful tools to track progress and start small. From habit tracking apps to online learning platforms, the ability to take tiny steps toward mastering a skill has never been more accessible. Micro-learning and incremental skill building. Consider micro-learning, taking 5 to 10 minutes a day to watch a tutorial or read a short article. Over time, those small efforts compound into valuable skills and knowledge. With consistency, you can learn anything from coding to creative writing just by committing to small, daily actions. Section 9, the role of patience and faith, 3 mins. Patience is key. One of the most important elements of embracing small beginnings is patience. Growth rarely happens overnight, and it's essential to trust the process. Patience allows you to stay the course when results aren't immediately visible. Faith in the journey. Faith plays a significant role here, not just religious faith, but faith in the process and faith in yourself. You must believe that every small step is building towards something bigger, even when the end goal feels distant. Example of waiting for results, e.g., gardening or business. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't expect a tree to grow overnight, but you have faith that with care, attention, and time, it will blossom. Likewise, your small beginnings in personal growth, career, or relationships may not show immediate results, but if you nurture them, they will grow into something significant. Section 10, final encouragement, 2 mins. Recap of key takeaways. To recap, small beginnings matter. Whether you're looking to improve your health, learn a new skill, or grow personally, the path is paved with tiny, consistent steps. Small actions lead to big transformations. Final call to action. Remember, today is the best day to start small. Whether it's a 5-minute walk, reading a page of a book, or simply setting a goal, take that first step now. Over time, you'll look back and realize how far those small beginnings have taken you. Closing words. Great things come from small, consistent efforts. Just as every great artist started with a single brushstroke, every great life transformation begins with one small action. Embrace the art of small beginnings and watch your life evolve in ways you never thought possible. Closing quote for reflection, 30 secs. I'll leave you with this, as Vincent van Gogh once said. Great things are done by a series of small things brought together. Start small. Let's start today and see where it takes you. This continuation wraps up your 15-minute motivational video on small beginnings, emphasizing that slow, steady progress is the key to personal development. How does this structure feel to you? Would you like to add or expand any specific part of the story? Certainly. Let's continue building on the small beginnings concept with more depth, adding layers to further engage the audience and give your video a strong and motivating conclusion. Section 11, overcoming fear and doubt with small steps, 3 mins. The paralyzing effect of overwhelm. One of the biggest obstacles people face when starting a new journey is fear and doubt. Often the sheer size of our dreams or the enormity of the task ahead can feel paralyzing. We fear failure, we doubt our abilities, and as a result, we freeze. But what if the way to overcome that fear is to stop focusing on the big picture? Breaking down fear into manageable pieces. Small beginnings help you face fear head-on by breaking down overwhelming tasks into manageable steps. Instead of being afraid of the mountain you have to climb, you only need to focus on the step right in front of you. Real-life example: facing fear incrementally. Let's say you're afraid of public speaking. The idea of standing in front of hundreds of people might feel impossible right now. But what if your first small step was to practice in front of a mirror? Then, speaking to a friend. Then a small group. Each step builds your confidence until the big stage doesn't feel so scary anymore. Section 12, the role of consistency, 2 mins. Consistency over intensity. Consistency is the key to mastering the art of small beginnings. It's not about doing one massive action perfectly, it's about showing up every single day, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Consistency trumps intensity in the long run. Example of long-term consistency: fitness, language learning. Think of fitness: running a 10,000 once will tire you out, but running a little every day will make you stronger. The same goes for learning a new language. Studying for hours one day and doing nothing for weeks doesn't lead to progress, but practicing just 15 minutes a day, every day, leads to fluency over time. Building the habit muscle. Each small action, done repeatedly, strengthens your habit muscle, just like going to the gym. Consistency in your small actions creates discipline, making it easier to keep going even when the initial excitement fades. Section 13, the science behind small wins, 2 mins. How our brain responds to small successes. There's actually science behind why small beginnings work so well. Every time you achieve a small win, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good hormone. This dopamine boost reinforces positive behavior, encouraging you to keep going. Dopamine and motivation. These small victories create a positive feedback loop. The more small steps you take, the more motivated you feel. You start craving that sense of accomplishment, and suddenly those small steps don't seem so hard anymore, they become part of your routine. Example of building momentum through brain chemistry. Let's say you've always struggled with waking up early. Starting by setting your alarm just 10 minutes earlier each day triggers small wins. As your brain associates waking up early with the dopamine hit of success, it becomes easier. And soon you'll find yourself waking up earlier without even thinking about it. Section 14, how to start today, 3 mins. The importance of just starting. Now, let's talk about how to put this into action. The biggest hurdle for many people is simply starting. We wait for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances, or the perfect mindset, but those things rarely come. The truth is, the perfect time to start is now. Immediate action steps. Start with something ridiculously small. Want to start exercising? Don't plan a 30-minute workout, start with 5 minutes. Want to write a book? Don't set a word count, start with 1 sentence. It's the act of starting that creates the momentum. Create a simple, consistent routine. One of the most effective ways to embrace small beginnings is by creating a simple routine. Choose a time, stick to it, and focus on one small task each day. Over time, that routine will snowball into bigger actions and results. Section 15, a story of small beginnings, 3 mins. Inspirational story, e.g., the bamboo tree parable. Let me share with you the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. When you plant the seed for the first 5 years, nothing seems to happen. You water it, you care for it, but there's no visible growth. Then suddenly in the 5th year, the tree shoots up 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Metaphor for patience and faith in small beginnings. The bamboo tree teaches us patience and faith in the process. For years, it looks like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, its roots are growing strong. Similarly, your small actions today are building the foundation for exponential growth tomorrow. Personal anecdote or success story optional. You might be feeling like you're in that 5-year period right now, putting in the effort, but not seeing the results yet. Trust that your roots are growing. Keep nurturing them with small, consistent actions, and when the time is right, your efforts will skyrocket. Final section, call to action and conclusion, 2 mins. Call to action. Now it's your turn. What's one small step you can take today toward your goal? Share it in the comments below. Remember, no action is too small. It's not about the size of the step, it's about the commitment to take it. Motivational send-off. As we've seen today, greatness doesn't come from one giant leap, but from a series of small steps that move you toward your goal. The secret to success lies in embracing small beginnings with faith, patience, and consistency. Start today, and one day, you'll look back and realize just how far those small steps have taken you. Final quote for inspiration. I'll leave you with one final thought: small deeds done are better than great deeds planned, so let's stop planning, stop waiting, and start doing one small step at a time. Closing visual. The video could end with a visual representation of a growing plant or tree, symbolizing growth from small beginnings, accompanied by uplifting music. You could overlay the text: start small, grow big,